Today, we're going to be talking about your ideal client and how they may not even know that you can help them, which is a problem.
Welcome to the Up in My Business podcast with me, Lex Lancaster, where you'll get an inside look at all things tech, business, and my life as a physical therapist turned digital operations expert. You'll hear all about my lessons as a business owner, the ins and outs of tech for your business, and more. From SEO, websites, and email marketing to automations, launches, and copywriting, I've got you. I'm so excited you're here. Let's dive in.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Up in My Business. I am Lex, your host. This will be, I'm saying it out loud to make it come into, or to basically make it happen for myself and hold myself accountable. This is going to be the last episode I record on the weekend. I met with Emma Jack last week because, I'm very much so an external processor, and I also have boundaries, or we have boundaries as far as like Shantae and I go for our business. Now, that doesn't mean we won't help each other and like what have you, but I'm not out here externally processing like all of my thoughts around my business with Shantae. And so I was like, I need to talk to somebody. And like, I have another friend named Mads, and we often go back and forth about stuff, and that's incredibly helpful. And then, oh my God, I looked at my Whoop band, and I closed it. My wrist is so small. I am holding things on my desk as I record. It's just one of those habitual things. And I had no idea my wrist was that small. I just closed it, and I know this fits. So anyway, okay. But what I decided was I was going to talk to Emma Jack instead of, just talking to myself basically. And that went really well. Got some ideas for what I need to do for the next, oh God, that was a big hit. I'm sorry about that. My hand hit the mic. What I'm going to do for the next 6 months, and just kind of get a feel of what the actual problem is or is not. The downside of that is that it's time, meaning like nothing is, a fix it tomorrow problem, which again, like it's fine, but also, yeah. So at the end of the day, one of the things that I talked about was not recording my episode on Sunday and Saturday. It's not that I don't like to do it, but I would like to just put it during the work week so I can just decide not to do it. So yeah, I'm going to be recording episodes during the week. So it will be less weekend energy, which to me I'm excited about it. So that'll be the last episode, or this will be the last episode I record on the weekend. We have some travel coming up. What else happened? We played lots of volleyball this weekend. My neck is actually kind of bothering me, which is also right now, it feels like there are a couple like parts of my body that are just angry. And what's annoying is I can't like move my workout because one is my hip flexor, one is my neck. So I can't do an upper body workout, and I can't do a lower body workout to avoid the thing to give it one more day of rest. And I rested this weekend minus volleyball. I didn't really rest. Resting today. No, I'm not, because I'm lifting. Anyway, I'm struggling with some like body stuff. I'm like, man, why is everything hurting right now? So, just going to try to do my best with that this week. Still working with Betsy. So at the end of the day, like I could always just, not lift today or not lift tomorrow and push it till later in the week because I have a 4-day split, but I just find it very tough to get lifts in on Friday and Saturday. So ideally, I get things done Sunday through Thursday within that window. So I don't know. We'll probably still do it. I am also in the middle. I just cleaned out my closet, like so many clothes. And I had been holding on to like dress pants that I will likely never wear again. But also they were dress pants from like college. And your body changes as you get older, and like I've been lifting as well, and I know my body it is different. Like I am definitely, I have a different structure than I did, 10 years ago. Because I thought about it, I was like, holy smokes, these pants are so old, because they're from PT school. But like when you wear them to It's clinical, and you wear them, I wore them to work, obviously, like I had a job. So when I had a job as a PT, I wore dress pants to squat in. I digress. But I put them on yesterday and I was like, oh my God, why am I keeping these? I do not fit in these pants anymore. And like, I don't feel any type of way about it, but I was like, why are these in my closet? So I had been thinking about doing like a big closet clean out, recently. And I'm not brave enough to throw everything out, but, I've been just really, I'm not a big fashion person, but like, I'm also sitting here saying I would like to have more clothes that are just higher quality, if you will. No fast fashion type of stuff, and stuff that goes with multiple things. And like, I don't feel like I've taken the time as I've gotten older to make that happen. So I'm just going to like slowly add to that collection, I guess, if you will. But also I found this fashion influencer, quote unquote. She's like the person that I need to follow, because I was following these fashion people, and they would link a t-shirt that was like $700. I don't know about you, but that will never be the way that I operate in my life. Like, absolutely not. I'm also not a handbags person. I'm not a shoe person. Like, I never have been a big fashion person. I have no reason to speak to why, except for the fact that I didn't grow up around that. My mom wasn't like that. My grandma wasn't like that. Like, and nothing against it, but like, I don't value that stuff. So, I just never really thought like, I'm going to buy myself this expensive sweater. I feel like I just don't spend money like that. I just don't value it, which again, like, to each their own. Everyone values different things. But, when I look at my closet, I'm like, I think I need to like get some pieces. But this woman that I follow, she will link reasonably priced clothes. And I'm like, okay. And she also has like this like baseline wardrobe where it's like functional stuff. It's not, you don't need every crazy going out top, if you will. Like, nothing needs to be a statement top. You can have 2 statement tops and call it a day. Like, you don't need to have a closet full of statement tops. And so I'm really embracing the stuff that she's talking about, and like how to have items that are in my closet that I can, wear again and again and again, and are also valuable in a sense where they go with multiple things. So just working on that. Not because I just don't care. It's just, it also is a lot of energy and money and time. And I'm just like, I just don't like this stuff. I like window shopping, but I don't actually like buying new things, if that lands. So yeah. I feel like that's all the personal stuff. Business stuff, I keep saying this every single week. The Google Ads course is like, again, like when I feel like this about something, I'm like, I have to figure out why. And I don't know why I feel this way about it. I feel like every time I want to film, I don't have the energy to film. And every time I want to film, I don't find myself excited about it. I really like running Google Ads, and I really like putting them together, but teaching other people, it's just, I'm coming up against a roadblock, because as I'm filming the stuff, don't get me wrong, I'm really good at being like, here's how to do it. Click this button, add this thing. So like, it's going fine. It's fine. But at the end of the day, like, there are pieces to this puzzle where I know that even like the most tech savvy people may get caught up in what to do, and like having an error come up. And for that, I'm just like, it's really tough for me to commit to something where I have to answer questions right now. Like, I don't want to get on one-on-one calls. It'll be too much. So it's like, okay, I get on a group call, but then it's just, there are some things in my brain that I'm just like, I don't know if this is a good decision to run this program, because for me, I'm like, when I run something, I want it to be implementable and someone can actually do it, right? So it's not a bait and switch. Like, I don't want it to be a bait and switch where you buy the course and you're like, oh, so I still have to hire her. Like, that feels bad for me. And I feel like even if I put on the message, if I put on the website, the messaging around it, if I'm like, do not buy this if you are not tech savvy, I feel like I'm still going to get people who are not tech savvy that buy it. And I think it's just tough for me. I can't, everyone's an adult. Everyone has autonomy. If you choose to push purchase and you buy something, even though I say, if you're not tech savvy, don't buy this, I can't do anything about that. And like, that's your choice. But at the end of the day, and again, like I'm giving directions. It's not like I'm not asking you to build out a website via code. Like I'm giving directions in this, and like I have a step-by-step guide that I've developed, but it's like I still have this internal feeling where, launching a Google ad is step one. And then step two is like managing it. And I can teach that and I can give things to think about. And I think, to be blatantly honest with you, I feel like a step before that is really valuable. Like, do you need Google ads? Do you need social ads? Do you need SEO? Like all of that. So it's like, I have all these things in my mind and I just need to set aside the time to actually film it. And it's just been busy and I have that block in my brain and I don't know why. And I think part of it is just because, honestly because of the thought that I have. I'm like, I just don't have, I just want it to be good. And I don't want it to feel like a bait and switch. And anyway, autonomy is sexy, whatever, but that's one of the blocks I'm having right now with the Google Ads course, because I know it's needed. I will blatantly say it's needed. I've looked at Google ad setups from other people and I'm like, oh my God, you're spending so much money and getting one conversion. That's insane. So that's really annoying. And I feel like I've seen it multiple times now and I want to help. But again, like I have to also remember that just because I can doesn't mean that I have to. And again, that's a mental block that I need to work through. So anyway, that's really my update there. My other update is I am basically not taking new clients unless you're booking a website ahead of time for August, September, October, November. Otherwise, I'm not taking on new clients this time. My plate is as full as I like, as Molly Galbraith says, and I just don't want to take on more. And that's the end of it. So if you, and I said it last week too, and I'm going to keep saying it only because I feel like if you only listen to this episode and not a different one, my business has drastically changed from offering calls and having call availability Tuesdays and Thursdays every single week, every month, and plenty of availability. My business has changed from that to having mostly none for new clients or people who are not my retainer clients. And I did talk about this with Emma, and at the end of the day, Zoom calls drain the shit out of me. So being on Zoom all day, I did it for 6 years. And I will say, every Tuesday, Thursday for 6 years. And I will say like Zoom calls drain me. So it is better for me to not be on Zoom all day. And that's why my availability is far and few between. My retainer clients are, my first priority. And then I have my website design doing a day clients. I'm going to have some I do have one-off options available as well, but all of it is like in the back end. I have no problem getting on a call with someone to talk through something, but at the end of the day, I can't be on Zoom all day long anymore. So my availability is just reflecting that. And if you're looking to work with me, coaching call wise, because I do coaching calls on everything I do. So anything I do, you can get on a call with me and we can talk through it. So it's SEO, ads, websites, etc. So it's one of those things where I do it all and I would love to meet with you, but just know you have to book ahead of time and you have to book out. And I know that June and July are just not my months because I have travel. So when I travel, I'm traveling for a week in July and 5 days in June. So when I'm traveling, all of my retainer work gets moved. So that means that July, I don't have extra availability. My availability goes to my retainer clients, and like that just is what it is. So that is the quick update there. Okay, so I guess let's jump into the episode. The episode will not be long. 110% will not be long. If you get my newsletter, you will get this in written form today. I just think it's so important to talk about, and I want people to hear it. And even though you may be familiar with it, I want you to hear it again. So something that I am seeing over and over and over again, and it's not in my ecosystem. It's more or less like when I see someone share something, or it'll be like you might be interested in this post. And then there are also accounts who like to use it as a hook, but I will not go into that. Is that blogging is dead. People are saying blogging is dead. Blogging has literally never been dead. And not to mention, it's not only not dead, but it works for you forever. So when you write a blog today, 10 years from now, that blog is still going to be working for you as long as you're, following best practices and you have the Google cred, if you will. I have clients who have written blogs since 2012, and there really is there's no thought as to why they're successful on Google, because they have so much content, and the content is deep, and the content is it spreads far. And the only reason they have, I shouldn't say the only reason, a very, very large reason why they have the credibility on Google that they do is because of that. So that's not changing. Like, I think that there's something to be said about, AIs coming in and blah, 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 blah. Even if everything is being shown in the AI search results and no one actually clicks on your website to get the answer, which again, if you have a website and you're not providing like a recipe, typically they will still click into your website. But getting shown in the AI search results is a really, really good thing. And people will oftentimes click, especially if it's health related, they will click into that to read more. But at the end of the day, like, I do think that we need to take a step back and recognize that search results are not going away. One, Google's not going anywhere. And two, the only way to be shown on Google is to have content and to have a lot of content on your website. I just think that people are taking this route of they're like, AI is here. I don't need to do it because AI search results and blah, blah. People are going to ChatGPT instead. That is only pulling from your website. So you can't show up on ChatGPT if you're not publishing content to your website. That is literally, it's impossible. That is what AI software, AI search results, that's what they do. They pull the content from your website. And the only way to have that content available is to have it in your blog and as a service page on your website, etc. Like, to have the content on your site. That's the only way to be seen for that stuff. So at the end of the day, like, you have to actually put content on your website. And so blogging will never be dead. Like, I feel like anytime you hear that, you should know that the person that's telling you that blogging is dead is lying. And they're saying it to either sell you something different, to sell you on ads or whatever the fuck else, or they're selling you on their protocol for coming up in AI search, which is still going to be the same damn thing as a blog. And so that is like the biggest thing that I want you to know. Like, blogging is never dead. Blogging is not dead. Even if you're not doing it to SEO best practices, like I will teach you in things like my blogging bootcamp SEO school, you're still building a content library. And when you decide to go all in on SEO, because eventually you will want to, when you decide to do that, you will have a bank of content that Google will find, and it will help you a lot. So just recognize, like, even if you're not doing it to the level of precision, etc., that I would request you do it to, it will still be a really great move. So all of that to say, it is so important, so important that you write blog posts. Now, one other thing that I want to touch on, because it is important as far as like what we're talking about, I've had in my newsletter, you'll hear about Lauren Davis and Lauren V. Davis, and she came in to my inner circle to talk about personal branding. And one of the things that she had talked about was how she was looking for a solution to some symptoms that she was having. And a lot of the websites just focused on telling her why the service was so great. But she left a bunch of websites being like, but am I a fit for this service? Do my symptoms fit for this service? And again, like, one of my clients, I posted this on Instagram as well. She sent me a voice memo and was like, hey, a client came in and they told me that they weren't even searching for pelvic therapy on Google. They were searching Google for their symptoms, and they were talking to Google about their symptoms and like what they were feeling, what they were going through. And like they found my blog about those symptoms. And then inside that blog, of course, she was like, hey, if you're located in my city and town, I can treat you. And then of course, like if you're not, then you can find someone local to you. But it's one of those things where she found her because she was searching the symptoms that she was having. And what I want you to take away from that is that not everyone knows that they need your service. They don't know that pelvic therapy can treat prolapse. Like you would think that the connection is there, but we have to remember that that's not the case. Most of the time, that's not the case. If I have trouble running a long distance and my feet hurt, you would hear that most people will probably be like, go to your local sneaker store and get your shoes fixed, get different shoes, get better shoes. Is that the solution? I mean, I would say as a PT, you probably need to look beyond your shoes. You know, I'm not the running expert, but I would say you probably need to look beyond your shoes. Or like if you're having some sort of back pain, the first thing someone recommends is an MRI or an X-ray. How many times have we been sitting next? Oh my God, the volleyball conversation yesterday. 2 days ago, we were sitting in front of people at the game, and they were two women. One woman was, her knees, we have little fold up chairs. Her knees were on the back of my chair. Okay. So she's already so effing close because her friend decided to sit next to me. So now suddenly I am the third piece of their triangle in their conversation. Now I'm not having the conversation with them, but they're turning around. The one woman next to me is turning around to talk to her friend, which means her vocal projection is going directly into my ear because of course she's not turning all the way around and her friend is behind me. So now suddenly I'm in their conversation. Don't even get me started how sensory overload. Oh my God, it was pissing me off. That's just so annoying and also so rude. And just sit next to your friend. Like, I don't want to be in your conversation. And they literally at one point, my hand was on the side of my knee and it was on her chair. And it wasn't because I moved. It was because she put her chair so close to me that it was on top of me. I was so annoyed. So if you can catch my drift here, I'm not very good at like sensory, I can't not hear the people who are talking into my ear and focus on something. So it was really frustrating to watch the game and like want to watch the game, but have these two people in my right ear just yip yapping. And then at the worst part about it, in my opinion, is one, the existence, but two, they were talking about exactly what I'm talking about now. The woman was having, I know the whole story because she was right next to me. This woman was she must have had a collarbone injury. She went to PT. The PT basically, they didn't have space for her. So what they did was they gave her an app with exercises without having an evaluation. I want you to just like go ahead and let that settle. So they gave her access to an app. She started the exercises before she got to see them. And then when she went to go see them, he was like, oh, it looks like your shoulder's a little bit lower on that side. I need you to go get an x-ray. So I have a lot of opinions, but that was part of it. And then she was like, oh, so I tried PT and that didn't really work. And I was like, well, like that's not PT. So then the other woman was suggesting, well, have you tried chiropractic? Have you tried acupuncture? Have you gotten an MRI? Oh, you got an MRI. Did you get an x-ray? How about a CT scan? Like literally, I'm not joking. My skin was crawling. And it's always so tough when they're talking about your profession because you want to turn around and be like, hey, so all of that stuff you're talking about, that is not best practice care. And then, you know, the guy that was sitting right behind Shantae, so on my left, he was also kind of like contributing to the conversation a little bit, but they were talking about, you know, PT and the woman was like, oh, the guy did this. I actually don't know what device she's talking about, but she's like, this guy had a long stick with electrodes on it. And he would just like, you know, buzz me. And she was like, he was doing a lot of stick work. He'd roll me out. I'm like, I'm here for manual therapy, but not once. And then obviously he gave her the app of exercises before he did an eval, but just, oh my God. So all of the things just felt really bad. Anyway, what my point is that people are searching for symptoms they have. They do not know that they need your solution. And this person here is like, have you tried acupuncture? Have you tried chiropractic? All of those things could work for someone with shoulder pain. All of those things could work. So it's not about getting in front of someone. Sure, you want to get in front of someone when they say, I'm looking for PT. But personally, I would want to be the person who shows up when someone searches for their symptom. So they say like, hey, can you, or Google, I guess I don't talk to Google and say, hey, right shoulder pain when putting milk in the fridge. Like I would want to come up when someone searches for that, not for PT, because not everyone knows that they need PT. And if PT is so bad, according to all of your websites, traditional PT is bad. Traditional PT is, or maybe not bad. Traditional PT is not ideal. Traditional PT does not give you X. Traditional PT does not do this. What makes you think that someone who has experienced that type of PT is going to reach out to you or type into Google physical therapy for shoulder pain? I got news for you. They're probably not, especially if they've had that type of experience at PT, because they don't want PT. They want someone who's going to solve their shoulder pain and understands what type of shoulder pain they're having. So all that being said, I just want you to understand that some people do not know, a lot of people, most people do not know that your service can help their symptoms. Okay? They don't know that your service can help their symptoms and what they're going through. So it's your job to let them know, hey, my service helps. My service can help you. And recognize that it is important to understand that most people are likely not searching for the service, or they're already searching for a service that they might not even know that they need because some friend told them that it might help them, but like, will it actually? I don't know. It's more important in my brain to go to the person who understands your injury and what you're going through, so that they can help you best, regardless of what profession that ends up being, like whatever. At this point, it's like, do they understand my symptom? Do they understand what I'm going through? And can they help me specifically? Okay. And that to me is so worth it and so important. All right, friends, that's all I've got for you. I cut a mango this morning and I'm itching my eye, right? I'm scratching my eye right now and rubbing my eye. And I actually think what Shantae said is true. I think I'm allergic to the mango skin and I just rubbed it in my eyeballs. So I'm going to go put some eye drops in and probably try to wash my eye out and hope that I don't get swollen eyes like I did last Wednesday, because I can feel it coming on. And I think it's the mangoes, which makes a ton of sense because apparently mango skins are like poison ivy for some people. So, which I'm not allergic to poison ivy, but I think I'm allergic to mango skins. So I think I'm going to go take care of that and I'm going to let you go. I hope this episode, I hope something clicked in this. I hope it made sense as far as like why I just like feel like I talk about blogging over and over and over again. And it's because it is so, so necessary. All right. Thank you so much for listening. I will catch you next time.